Hello everybody and welcome back to Mutapa, which is both 100% less Mutapa and 100% more eye-searing. Wonderful. Look at this. Is this not blinding in its glorious luminescence? I love it. So we are currently working on finishing up some of our colonies down over here, and we're pretty overextended on our colonization because we wanted to push down this way very, very heavily so that Europe couldn't get access to all of this up in here. So that's now done, and we don't need to expand any of our colonization efforts. All we need to do is finish up our existing colonies and then start working on these one at a time until we get access to a second colonist anyway, and then we'll work on them two at a time. For now, though, we are still working, I believe, on getting these up to level 8 military power. Yeah, we can do that right now, or not quite get there. But we are going to need to take one of these up to level 4. And I think we're going to do admin power to do that. Okay. So all we need now is to get Natal up. And what was the other thing that we needed in this mission? Right. Admin tech of 15. That's going to take a while. Okay, well, that's something that we can work on for sure. Our institution spread is happening. We now officially have Renaissance embraced in 2 provinces in our nation, and it is spreading in quite a number down this way. That is beautiful. So realistically, we need a lot more, but that's fine. We are working, I think, right now on dealing with some of our vassals. I feel like we should probably get rid of several of them. As far as expansion goes, the question becomes, do we want to do any further expansion at this exact moment? I think the answer to that is yes. Specifically that we want to take over a doll. This is an interesting institution map mode. This isn't the one I'm looking for sure, and not the one that we had a moment ago. Okay, there we go. This'll do. So we can see here that Adal does actually have multiple counties that, or rather provinces, that are indeed embracing Renaissance. So let's go ahead and begin building a spy network there. It'll be a little bit before we're ready to do that. We'll get our troops back over here, group this together, and we'll enable drilling. Perfect. How are we doing on our income right now? We are making some gold. So I'm going to toss this gold into rooting out of corruption. Up to like there. Okay. Sounds good to me. Our colonial maintenance should also come up, but honestly, we're already over halfway done with Cape. Once we finish one of these 4 colonies, it's going to be a big swing for us financially. So I think I'm okay with that for right now. Our biggest thing that we need is Renaissance at this point, I feel like. I mean, as far as all this goes, contact with the Europeans, control Southern Africa. We're working on both of these. This is kind of something that's going to passively happen for both of them. And, I mean, this one, again, is going to passively happen. Wealth of Aden is... What do we need for this? Right. So we need a center of trade level 2 in a coastal province in the region of Horn of Africa. Legitimacy or spend ducats for some national unrest reduction. I don't think we care about unrest reduction, and we do care about ducats and admin power right now. We'll just take the legitimacy, even though our legitimacy is capped. I think it's fine. So as far as centers of trade go, how do we go about upgrading our center of trade these days? I don't think that's done via buildings. Let's see here. So if we were to do this, yeah, that's just local trade power. Let's look at the trade map mode quick and take a look here. So this is a level 1 coastal center of trade here in Habyo. Upgrading to that requires 10 development. Okay, got it. So this is a new-ish system from last time I played. I think it was in the game last time I played, but I didn't really interact with it. So this is what we need to do then. It requires 10 development. A lot of these missions are really focusing on developing your provinces. I don't know, maybe Paradox is trying to push that right now, but I feel like it's not the greatest thing to do in Africa. It's okay, I suppose, when you are behind in your institutions. But at the same time, being behind in your institutions does mean you need all the more tech. So, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. And there we go. There's those two done for now. So we're going to need to boost Hobyo here up to level 10, huh? Well, we can work on that. Take it up to, like, 8 right now. That's 9 and 10. Okay, so there we go. So then we can start upgrading this once we have the cash. That's fine, I suppose. I mean, we are making a decent amount of cash right now. Okay, diplomatic relations +1. Sure, that's fine. I'm actually going to go back to not rooting out as much corruption. Can we get away with not rooting out any corruption right now? No, we cannot. If we want it to shrink. So we'll pay like 1 ducat per month rooting out corruption right now. I'm not too concerned about it. Right now, what I really want to be doing... And yeah, we will not compensate these traders, I'm afraid. They knew what they were getting into. Right now, we do need to get Rwanda's opinion of us up quite a lot. And the question is, how are we going to go ahead and do that with that abandoning of our tributary relation? That does make things tough. Okay, well, we'll maybe have to come back there in a bit. But that should, in theory, be fine. So I think we do want to save up the cash to get this upgraded over here. What's the reward for this mission? The Wealth of Aden. 2 years worth of trade income. That's quite a bit. It's like 24 times 8. Yeah, that's a decent chunk. It's not huge. It's not something that I'm like going to immediately run out and take out loans for. But yeah, that's okay. I don't hate that. Our opinions here are not amazing, but that's okay. We'll get to those later on. The real question, of course, becomes, once again, when do we want to go after this? Our spy network is finishing. Maybe we should just move up here. What do they have for alliances? Makuria and Mamluks. Ooh, okay. So Mamluks are potentially an actual threat to us. They are rivaled. They have less than we have militarily. They're Miltech 10. That's going to be really rough. Does colonialism exist? Yeah, it does. Okay. Good to know it hasn't even started to spread down this way yet. In theory, that should be fine. Printing press is going to be in like 23 years. Okay, that is fine. The real question is, do we think we can take on the Mamluks? Like, I feel like Makuria is not a problem. That's these guys up here. They're Miltech 10 as well. We can take on the Mamluks, is the conclusion that I'm coming to, but not right now. Not when we're spending so much money on our colonization down here. We need to allow one of these to finish, and it's going to be this one that'll finish first. Oh, 2 base production in Quelimane. That's fantastic. We're very, very happy to see that. So yeah, I think we're going to chill for the moment. How's Mogadishu's opinion of us? It would be doable to annex them, but it would be somewhat expensive. And that's not an expense that I want to take right now. I think right now we're just going to chill. We're going to wait for this to finish up. We're saving up gold right now to be able to upgrade Hobyo's Center of Trade. Yeah, we're capped or almost capped on manpower, and I would love to expand our armies. That said, our supply limits are not really amenable to expanding this force very much. I think we'll go ahead and build a large cast bronze mortar here, take this to 30k, and we'll have 30k be our standard army template for right now. Ooh, 100 population in Algoa Bay. That is nice. It's not in Cape, which I would have preferred, but I mean, that's 10% of the population that we need to form a city there. So I'm pretty pleased with that. We could consider dropping further colonial maintenance, but I don't really want to. I think we're okay as is. I think we just chill for the time being. We've grown a lot in a short amount of time, and what is our actual... What's our actual autonomy looking like? Okay, things are looking reasonable. 5% autonomy here, 9% here. Still 42 over here, and like 5% up this way. 12, 22. Yeah, this is still dropping pretty dramatically, but I like it. This is okay, I think. We're making 3.76. That keeps coming up. Absolutely fantastic. So the real question then becomes... A, why is the phone repeatedly ringing right now? I thought I turned the ringer off on that. I apologize. But the question also becomes, how long before this really finishes? Well, that kind of depends on how our rolls are. That's for sure. However, we need to think about our trade. All of this trade flows down to Cape. We're going to want to restructure our trade here fairly soon. Specifically, once we have this finished up, this will probably become our main trade port. We'll flow all of our trade down this way, which it naturally flows down this way. There's only the one exit node. There are these two here that we could push trade from here down and over here if we get the trade range. So I think that's overall pretty decent. We can flow trade down this direction and then collect trade at our main trade port down here. So it would be like Gulf of Aden pushing down this way. We don't want the trade to flow up this way. We would then want to push trade towards Gulf of Aden, and then from here, we would actually want to push the trade this way, not down to the Cape. That would be the ideal scenario. So we can get that set up, but that's not going to be a thing for a little while yet. We're up to 120 gold right now. That's magnificent. And our inflation is going up. There's no doubt about that. We could gain some mercantilism here or gain 33 diplomatic power. I think we'll take the mercantilism at this exact moment. Is our mercantilism currently maxed? Probably. Or, well, not maxed, but yeah, we're at 27% mercantilism right now. That's okay. I mean, ultimately, mercantilism I don't really care too much about, but I didn't really want to lose the merchant opinion there. So, the merchant guild opinion, which is back up to 53%. That's fantastic. We're just waiting for nobility to go up a bit before we can grab a little bit more crownland. We do have a lot of crownland right now. And we're going to start getting some bonuses from our crownland soon. So that's great. I'm very pleased about this. Our cores are going to be finishing momentarily as well. We could also think about expanding our trade fleet, but I do think that upping the natural harbor in Hobyo is much, much more important, especially since we know that this is going to be essentially free and give us 5 local trade power. That's not bad. Not bad at all. We're also interested in getting additional trade power in some of these other locations. If we go into the building map mode, what do we have here? None of these are 5. It's completely arbitrary, but I like it to be around 5. So that's something that we can think about changing later on as well. We've got plenty of coastal areas of trade, but Cape is going to be very important for us. This is basically the linchpin of our trade strategy over here. We probably want to think about invading Madagascar at some point fairly soon. They are Miltech 9, but that's okay. We will need trade ships to make that, or not trade ships, but cargo ships to make that happen. For now, we should have these guys mothballed. So we'll do that. There's our cores finishing up. Beautiful. And we're about 300 settlers in Cape away from finishing that. Fantastic. Only 5 per year here. Yikes. 25 and 15. Okay, sure. Well, we're only a little bit of gold away at this point from getting this upgrade going. So the question then becomes, do we want to cut payments somewhere to make this happen a little faster? I don't know, but we should also keep an eye on these guys. If they drop their alliance with the Mamluks, then that's a go signal for us, for sure. That said, institutions are spreading nicely down here. And it's now in 3 provinces. That's beautiful. So how long before we can adopt that, and how much is it going to cost? It's actually already in 4%. It only needs to go to 10%. I feel like this is fine. We still see no colonialism anywhere. Algoa Bay is getting a nice improvement here. Actually, this is really good. That's really good. This doesn't even have feudalism. Hilarious. It will get it. That's fine. And that was over here in Algoa Bay. So yeah, plus 40 per year now. And if we were paying the max amount, that would be far more. Let's go ahead and get this coastal center of trade upgraded. So yeah, that's going to give us minus 5% development cost, 10 local trade power, and 10% institution spread for that province. That's great. Do it. And that instantly happens? Okay, fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. That does, of course, fulfill our mission, and so we will get ourselves 2 years' worth of trade income. Wonderful. And then we can monopolize East Africa. Have trade income of at least 40%, have at least 5,000 gold, number of loans less than 1, and all of those would need to be the highest, or one of them would need to be the highest trade node in the world, and Zimbabwe the strongest trade power in said trade node. Okay, that's going to be interesting. We'll see how we want to pull that off. We'll take the admin power for right now, which does allow us to get a second colonist. Beautiful. And we're going to send that colonist over here, where they're only getting 5 per year. Excellent. We do have some cash at this point, and with that cash, I want to repay our loan. There we go. And we're now making 18.35. Colonial maintenance dropped? Why? Why did our colonial maintenance drop so much? Oh, right, because it's based on your number of colonists. I'm a moron. Yeah, so it's exceeding your number of colonists that increases it that much. That's huge, actually. That's absolutely huge. We're going to be able to go back to doing that, and I mean, we could do a full root out of corruption here, and we're losing money at this point. We'll keep an eye on that. We can run this for like 2 months at this point. And I think we're going to take that down to around here. So that's only losing half a point per year. That's, I think, fine. That rooting out of corruption will go away soon enough. So, yeah. Wonderful. For some reason, I was under the impression that the exponential costs of colonies were based on just your number of colonies. But no, the baseline is your number of colonists. That's really good to know. I had either forgotten that or just never knew. I don't often play like super heavy colonial nations. So like I don't often play like Spain or Portugal or something like that. So yeah, I may have just never known that little nuance, but that's fantastic to know. That does mean that we can think about getting ourselves a second army. And that would be fine. Like, our corruption is going away just fine at this point. And I'm not planning on doing any more debasement for quite a long time. We do still have another loan that we should keep in mind. But that does mean that we're going to be filling these out much more quickly. See, instead of 5 per year, this is now 60 per year. 70 per year here in Cape, 80 per year in Swellendam, and 95 per year in Algoa Bay. That is huge. Absolutely huge that we're now able to do that. So, magnificent. I'm very pleased about that. Rwanda, what's your opinion of us looking like? Not great, is the answer. Not great. Are they not allied with us? That would help. Obscuritanism is fine. I don't mind the unrest right now. That's completely okay. It's 151 currently. So other things that we can do to boost this, we can improve relations for another 12. We can send them gold for 25. How much gold do they want for that 25? 50 gold. Okay. Well, that's definitely something to think about. Our corruption is dropping here, and that's fine. Our truce with Rwanda is now over, and that's still boosting up there. So, yeah, we can definitely do something about this. Gold is indeed the sign of nobility, but I don't really want the merchants to gain 5% of land. I'm going to do that. I'm not necessarily happy about it because we need to wait for the merchant guilds to drift up now before we can claim more land. It's okay, I guess. Not the greatest. And again, our income is going to get even better. If we look at our colonial setup here, we're still paying a lot for Cape and Lesser Namakwa land, and those are going to go away as we finish these up. Once Cape finishes, which will be quite soon, under a year at this point, we're going to be saving a lot of money. Swellendam is now creating a livestock. Okay, that's great. Fish, livestock. We don't know what's up here yet. Okay. Zoza is getting gold. We could think about developing that up to diplomatic, or rather production level 10. I suppose it's not a terrible idea. Just do that for now, and I'll put in a little bit of military power here in so that we can keep going. I didn't need to go that far. Okay, we'll do something along the lines of that. I definitely overdeveloped Zoza here, but that's okay, I guess. And checking down over here, Sofala also generates gold, but keep in mind, relying more on gold income will give us more and more inflation. So that's just something we'll have to keep in mind. And that is okay. I would like to definitely start thinking about getting ourselves another set of units. We'll get one unit building here, and I do want to change our template here. So we need to change our army template, and where did I find to do that? Was it just in here? I want to edit this template. There's a way to do that, obviously, and I've forgotten where I found that previously. I would have thought it would be in the military tab, but perhaps not. Yeah, see, that just splits those off like that. That's not what I want it to do. There is a thing somewhere, and I cannot remember where that was. It would make sense to be in the military tab. Perhaps I'm just blind. Slack in recruiting standards. That's neat. But that's not something that I want to do right now. That's for sure. I feel like it should be in here. I may just be dumb. I mean, that's probably the case. We don't have a cult selected, and it needs to be Mawari. I'm also dumb for not doing that. That should have happened quite a long time ago. Now, where did I find those army templates at? In the production interface? Yep. Okay. So we're going to modify this, or can we just... We have to delete it, I guess. We'll create a new one here, and this is going to be 20 infantry. I should have just shift-clicked to add 10. We're going to do 4 cavalry. I want to double check that we are still at 24 for our combat width. Yes, we are. Okay, so this is 20 and 4. And ideally, we want this to be like that. In all honesty, though, yes, this would be a very powerful army. But the main problem here is this is going to be difficult to move around with our current supply limits. We're going to bring this back to roughly the 6 that we have right now, and we'll save this as our, like, evolving army. With a capital R? No. Okay. So then we can do something like that. Okay. And once this guy finishes, we can, in theory, conform to a template, but we don't have the gold for that at this exact moment. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to reform our trade, because Cape has finished up. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.